There we go. Cool. Here he comes. Hello.
Hey,
How are you doing?
good. How you doing?
Good. Happy 10th anniversary.
I know. Happy 10th anniversary. I feel like I should have a cake or something with some
I feel
candles
like we
ready to
should
go.
have gotten a cake or even
This,
cupcakes.
I know. This is it, though. This is the way of the celebration of the future.
This is it. This is the only way I'm going to celebrate from this point forward.
Exactly. Wow,
Yeah.
10,000 people in here. Holy crap.
I know. Thank you guys for joining us. And I know we got lots of really fun questions yesterday.
Your mom said hi. I miss her very much. It's
Do you
great to
miss
hear her.
Terry?
I'm happy she's safe and healthy.
Me too. Me too. How's your family doing? Are they all good? Are you staying safe?
They're good. Yeah, yeah. I don't live with my parents anymore, so I haven't seen them in a minute, but I hear from them. They're great. They're good. They're healthy. My girlfriend who I live with is healthy, so yeah, we're all good over here.
The dogs are good, so that's important.
Dogs are good. I'm surrounded by a bunch of dog crap right now as we speak.
That's, you know.
I'll show the viewers in a little bit. That's what they want.
I was hoping for like a super zoom.
Yeah, we'll get a
Just
slow-mo
the
shot for
poop.
you.
Yeah, feels good to me.
Yeah.
Well, how do you want to start this off? Do you want to start rolling through some questions, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it. You found some good ones yesterday on Twitter.
Yeah. Thank you guys for doing all this, Twitter and the comments on Instagram.
Let's start with something easy. Kickass is such an iconic movie with many memorable lines and scenes. What were each of your favorite lines and or scenes to film in the movie?
And that was from @SteoFandaffYYD.
Exactly. Nailed it.
Do you want to go first? You want me to answer?
Yeah, well, definitely, I think watching the movie, we were talking about it yesterday, but the scene where Nic Cage is dying is both simultaneously like heartbreaking and hilarious. The way he's screaming like "Switch to kryptonite!"
Yeah.
He's getting blasted with bullets. You're like, I want to be crying, but I can't stop laughing. I thought it was a brilliant performance. Really well done by him.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I think everything he did in it, you know, his kind of Adam West impressions when he was speaking, it was kind of like classic fanboy being able to like put it into a comic book movie and like show something that he loved from his childhood, which is really fun to watch. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And when he was not Big Daddy, he was pulling that Mr. Rogers vibe the whole way. So the balance between the two of them.
The Mr. Rogers vibe with the cardigan.
It really was. He had the sweater and the glasses. It was brilliant. Matthew let
He's
him
like
do everything he
dark,
wanted.
twisted Mr. Rogers
Exactly.
that shoots children in the chest.
Exactly.
I know. I saw someone posted like a little clip earlier today, and it was the opening scene of Mindy and him. So it's like when I'm not in the hit girl outfit, and he's like, a handgun bullet travels at, and then he like, you know, shoots me in the chest. And I just forgot how shocking it is to see an 11-year-old shot in the chest.
But it's so caring and loving. He loves you so much when he's doing it.
He cares so much.
What do you think? Do you think a scene like that could be filmed today?
I don't know if a scene like that could have been filmed at the time in another movie in the same way. You know, I feel like I was talking about the other day, and I was just kind of like, you know, it just had that kind of special sauce in the movie. You know, it had the perfect director, the perfect writer, the perfect cast at the right time, and it all just kind of melded together in a way that I think, you know, I don't think could be recreated in the same way. It's kind of one of those perfect capsules.
Well, I mean, like no one wanted to buy the movie for Matthew.
Yeah.
So he funded it himself with his friends. So it has that kind of indie movie vibe in a big action movie, you know? Like it's just made with so much love and care, and proud of that thing.
No kidding. All right, let's see what the next one we can grab is.
Do it.
From @CancerSurvivor1, watching the finished movie, what was your favorite scene or part of the movie? We kind of just answered that.
Yeah.
Let's see again.
And cancer survivor, I mean, that's if you've survived cancer, congratulations. Much love to you.
Oh, here you go. Milu of L Girl asks, what was the training regimen for the skills that you learned in the movie? And accompanying that, Sahil Klokan said, what was it like to go through the kind of training?
You take that one because the biggest
Well,
stunt I did was
did.
jumping off a dumpster. So
Yeah. Well, we all did some. We all did a good bit, but
a little bit over here.
I trained for about 7 months altogether. In LA with 8711, and then with Brad Allen, which is kind of the stunt choreographer, the head stunt choreographer of the Jackie Chan stunt crew. And we had some awesome doubles on the movie. Greg Townley, who was a little boy, was my double.
Yep.
And Talila Craig was my other double, which was really fun. We had Damian Walters, who did Aaron.
Good memory.
Really awesome
God,
people.
you were 11 when we filmed that. Your memory is incredible.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know.
It was a big chunk of your time, for sure.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal at the time. What about you? Do you remember?
I mean,
kind of
well,
suiting up?
I know Matthew told Aaron and I not to put on any weight, we wanted to stay scrawny, and our whole fight at the end was like
Slapping each other.
It was just slapping each other with sticks.
Yeah.
Like, so there wasn't anything major for us to learn. Yeah. We're like coming to set and we're eating donuts and you're over there in the corner with your knives doing so much badass
We did a pull-up contest though, or we did a push-up contest. We did something like that.
Please tell me I won. Please tell me I won.
Oh, you did actually. I do think you did win. I do think you did win.
My biggest accomplishment.
I don't know about that, but I know I think you won. But we did it in the kitchen area of that after the hall sequence.
Yeah.
We were in there and we did it in the kitchen area.
Do you ever look back now that you're are you 23?
Yeah, 23.
You ever look back and go, that is fucking crazy what I did as an 11-year-old on that set? Everything you learned. Like, do you ever take a moment and just be like, that was fucking badass?
It's just, it's kind of crazy. It's how much it's influenced me over the years as an adult now. Like, I gained so much physical confidence at such a young age that, you know, and I learned so much through fight training and weapons training that, like, as an adult now, it's kind of influenced me in every role that I've done with being the more strong kind of female, and kind of not shying away from the more heroine aspect of it.
Yeah, life-changing. It changed your life in a very, realistic way. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was crazy.
I know. You were a child and I was a man-child. I was 19.
You were a man-child and I was just a child. Girl.
I know. You were so much more adult than I was on that set. That's for sure. You had your parents around and I didn't. It was like the first time I was not with my parents my whole life.
So you just went hog wild?
Yeah. I was
Did
like,
you?
oh,
because I wasn't a part of any of that, you know, because I was a child.
Yeah. Well, you know, we shot in London for 3 months, so I got to live on my own for the first time ever. And
oh gosh.
The drinking age was 18 out there, so it was definitely a growing experience for me as well. It was
You kind of got into it, yeah.
A little bit on the weekends, never.
A little bit.
Never on set, never during the week. Very professional. Let loose on the weekends. All right, let's move on to another question before I talk about my blackout nights in London.
I guess it's a good question for like kind of Kickass 2 for your character and being able to kind of suit up. But Vicky Sky 24 on Twitter asks, how did it feel when all three of you put on your superhero suits for the very first time?
Yeah, I remember when they did the Red Mist costume because
the first one.
In the first movie, it's black up here and red on the chest. Yeah. They had it inverted the first time that they made it, so it's red everywhere and black here, and it looked way too much like Michael Jackson from Thriller.
Right.
There's nothing menacing about it.
Yeah.
So they changed it, and it looks fucking awesome. It was a pain in the ass to wear. It was a bunch of leather, and the cape weighed like 20 pounds. So it was
trying to feel dopey.
Yeah.
Was so hard.
Awful. And you're consistently drinking too because you're sweating nonstop in those things.
Yeah.
So it was finding the balance. But yeah, no, I mean, what about for you with your costume?
The first time I put it on, I remember it was all in pieces. So I had like the shoulder pieces and we had like part of the pants done. And then we were just trying on the gloves and stuff like that. So the first time I tried it on, it was a lot more, I think it also was a bit more like motorcycle bike, kind of like biking outfit, leather kind of look. Yeah. Which it ended up being similar to that, but it definitely became more streamlined. And I think they chose a separate color of purple for the leather.
Right.
And then actually the tartan, the kilt that I wore was Matthew Vaughn, our director's family tartan.
Oh,
That
wow.
they had dyed purple. So it was his family, like, yeah, their tartan. So that was like a fun little thing. So we only had 2 skirts, and then we had like 6 double of the leather suits, and we constantly ripped the crotch open because the leather didn't stretch there. So I would do all these high kicks, and it would just rip. And that's why Greg Townley, who is my double, we were both kids, he had like really baggy version of the pants. That way he could do big kicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. You had an adult man as your stunt double for an
Well,
11-year-old.
Greg was a kid, but then I had, Jai.
Yeah, Jai.
Yeah, Jai was an adult man.
Yeah. I wonder how he feels about that.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it probably happens frequently.
For sure, for sure.
It probably happens, but yeah, I don't know.
He was doing some badass stuff. But you brought up Matthew Vaughn. I remember in the Frank D'Amico household, all the art on the walls were replicas of the art that Matthew had in his house.
Yeah.
Just like a nice little fact for you guys, you know?
Yeah. He definitely always like kind of has a personal touch in his movies, and he's such a cool director, and he really kind of let us all take the lead on our characters and gave us a freedom, you know what I mean?
Totally.
And didn't hold us back in any way, which was
really
and
we had Jane Goldman there on set every day, giving us new lines, letting us do what we wanted.
Jane was awesome. She was the coolest.
I like this question for you. At Daniel Luke Allen asks, would Mindy McCready get along with Deadpool?
Oh, that's a fun question. I feel like, yeah, probably for sure. I think they have a very similar aesthetic to life.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. I think for sure the adult Mindy in another world, the adult hit girl, could very easily be right beside Deadpool.
Yeah,
start their own little vigilante.
Adult hit girl is a trippy thought, huh? What is adult hit girl up to?
I saw one of the comic drawings, because you know the comic kept going.
Yeah.
All the way to kind of adulthood, and I think she got her own kind of hit girl little thing.
Gotcha.
But she really became kind of crazed and like almost, I think, a little Harley Quinn-esque, and
oh wow,
a little trippy. I can't imagine, you know, that you'd probably fare well from being raised like that.
Definitely not. Let's see.
What else is there?
You do like one more and then get Aaron up in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
How has your life changed since Kickass? I mean,
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
How has your life changed since Kickass, Chris?
That was at 1721. Daniela asks. I mean, I couldn't say it changed too drastically. I think it changed very drastically after Superbad.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like, you know, it put me way up here, and then I got to do what I wanted after, which was like Role Models, Kick-Ass, Neighbors, all that stuff. But I think, I mean, for you, it's got to be crazy, right? That was Kick-Ass your first? Was that your big movie that kind of put you on the radar with a fan base?
Yeah, I mean, that was the one that really started like my core fan base. It kind of came from Kick-Ass. And Let Me In, because those two were kind of the same time period. So those two really kind of
was that alarming to be 11 years old and having people recognizing you and coming up to you? Do you remember what that was like?
I mean, it was probably crazy for you with Superbad. I mean, you became viral, you know, what we would call viral now. Like you were like the original kind of like early meme with the Hawaii ID.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it was, I was 18, so I was definitely like kind of coming into myself, but still just a dumb kid, and having people screaming, you know, lines from that movie, running up to my car door, literally running up to my car door and banging on it and saying like,
that's a weird one.
I just got to call. I bet, you know, just stuff like that was very alarming for an 18-year-old. But you had a great support system and a great family around you to kind of keep you safe and protected.
Yeah, I felt really lucky to kind of have 4 older brothers that almost acted as if they were bodyguards in it themselves. And I had, you know, my mother and Trevor on set kind of at all times. And then during the press tour, we were always together. So, you know, things definitely have gotten weird before, and, you know, the negative sides have happened and people have gone a little too intense. But ultimately, all in all, people are really awesome, and it's kind of given such a loyal fan base, and such a really just kind of really cool people who show up, you know, to Comic-Con to this day, still wearing our outfits.
It's amazing.
And
it's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like tattoos of the characters and stuff like that. So definitely like hardcore fans.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Someone asked a good question for you, and they said, what did you think when you first heard your superhero name, like, said to you in the movie?
Red Mist, I thought was badass. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was very alarmed in the second one when they named it the Motherfucker, because it's just not anything you want screamed at you on the street.
At all.
At all. You don't know if it's a movie or if someone's just really
not okay.
Yeah. But, you know, should we get Aaron jumped in here before?
Do it.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun, Chloe.
Thank you for joining.
Of course. I'll be
Between one not Fern.
Yeah. All right. Much love. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
See ya. There we go. All right. Let's see where Aaron is. That was fun. Let's scroll down here. All right. Aaron, if you click out of it and then click back in, I should be able to see you. Come on. Wait for it to come through. Where are you, Aaron? Was just staring at me trying to figure out how to use my phone. I feel like I don't know how to use Instagram properly, and so many people know how to use it properly. Okay. Aaron, if you jump out and then jump back in, I think you'll pop up. There he is. I see ya. Connecting. Hello.
Hey, it's working.
How you doing?
I was on, and guess who threw me off?
Who?
Matthew Vaughn. Because
Stop.
Casper and Clemmy are watching right now, so.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
Kids. And he was calling me because he wanted to rip into me and Chris, but now Chris is gone. So I was like, we got Instagram, do the whole thing. I know. Could you mind if we get Matthew on this as well?
Oh my gosh, I wish.
It'd be good though. I really wished we could have. There's a way we could have all been on here, man. It's weird to kind of come on and come off, but
I know.
but it's. But thanks for organizing this. This is so cool, Chloe. Happy 10th anniversary of Kickass.
I know. Happy 10th anniversary. It's fun that we can kind of get together virtually and do this.
Thanks everyone for joining. How it's very cool, very cool. Hope everyone's staying safe and
what
healthy.
What did you think of Chris and I's answers?
What's that?
What did you think of Chris and I's answers? we had some good ones, I think.
I was watching. It was really good. I know, it was interesting. I was just kind of thinking like that your 11-year-old curriculum was 7 months of stunt training. It's kind of like, it's almost like Black Widow Russian spy training. It's like you're set for life now. right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of those things, like, I never really forgot the stuff I learned, and I kind of kept up with it over the years. So my brothers would always kind of joke that I look small, but I'm quite mighty still. Yes, I can still do all the balisong tricks and all that crazy stuff.
Damn, damn.
I know. So don't.
Kind of good stuff. Kind of good stuff to know, isn't it? When you're, you know, 23, your age.
Just start throwing like Chinese throwing stars everywhere.
Yeah, you should have like a cabinet, the way that like Matthew Vaughn sets up all the, you know, all the cabinets of all the major
all the guns and all like the knives and everything and the grenades all laid out.
I feel like it's shockingly might be too real these days.
Potentially.
But, yeah, it's really cool. I was looking at some of the questions that you got.
Yeah.
Like one of them's like, what have you been doing? It's interesting that you've been doing doing the live workout stuff. I felt like I really wanted to join in, but we were like, I can't do that many pull-ups. What?
Aaron, you can definitely do that many pull-ups.
No,
you can 100% do that many pull-ups, Aaron.
I've been trying to stay on a work regime ethic kind of thing, and I've been going for a 3-mile jog every day as much as possible.
Really?
And then and then you know, get out. You got a mask up. Put your hat on.
Trying to stay sane and healthy at the same time.
Go for a jog, which is really good. But have you been doing anything else? What's like your daily routine just to kind of get through the day and keep yourself sane and interested in things?
Definitely working out's a big one. I mean, I don't have any kids like you do, so I don't have anything that I kind of have to keep up with that much so, but I have my dog Ruby, who right now is making so much noise in the corner. But she's kind of my baby that I have to take care of. So she kind of keeps me on more of a schedule. And actually doing like these Instagram lives is kind of a strange thing to look forward to.
Oh,
so I was like, oh, I like get to go to bed early and like have something to do tomorrow and talk to you guys. So
I feel like only you could drag me on to a live Instagram.
Thank you for doing it.
As I shut it all down at the end of 2019, so I came back on in order to do this with you and Chris because I love you guys so much. So
well, you know, we love you. I mean, it was so many years ago now.
Quite honestly, I'm a bit of a hermit, so you've kind of pulled me out. So
well, let's get some fan questions in here that people want to hear you answer.
Okay.
So one of the ones that I asked Chris and we asked each other was the one from Vicky Sky, and it was, how did you feel when you put on your superhero suit for the very first time? And kind of looked at yourself. I
mean, I think my general reaction was, you know, my costume wasn't supposed to be cool in any way. It was the complete opposite of cool. So I think the more awkward and bizarre and silly it looked was the better. The major thing for us was trying to figure out how to match the comic book mask, because I think the mask covers the mouth, and so we had to like cut a hole, and we already had this much to work with, and I think we might have done some screen tests with you know, trying to find out which, you know, what works and what doesn't, and but you know, it was,
do you remember we had God, the mic packs? I remember how annoying the mic packs were, because you had them in your wrists, right?
Yeah, they might have been in my boots or in my feet, so the wiring all the way up the leg and through, you know, over through the mask, and I think they stood here.
Yeah, so like trying to go.
Yellow lines come there, and then they
horrible
come all the way up the back. Yeah. It was funny you saying about, you know, you and Chris were saying about how much you'd like, you know, most awkward thing was when I had the battens in the back. It was this whole back strap that you couldn't zip. So if you needed to go to the bathroom, you have to about 3 people undo.
You're like pulling things off.
go to the bathroom, run back on, you know, and then you might have like after a few routines, you've like got sweat patches. It's just
Yeah.
the irony of a wetsuit. It just didn't keep anything dry on the inside out. So then we'd have to have variations on different wetsuits. And even though they're cut the same, there's always the one that's your favorite. I don't know if, you know, maybe
just
like a hero mask or whatever. There's one that just fits better than most. Otherwise, some of them are like, I don't know, like push up your nose or like
yeah, make you look crazy. Yeah, we had a couple hero wigs and one hero mask because it was something about like the black mask, the way that it laid on my face, it would make my eyes kind of scrunch together, and then I couldn't really open them. So there were so many where I'd be like trying to look through the mask. Whereas like Greg, my double, just had like one that was like an oblong eye and one was like a smaller eye.
Yeah, I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? It is crazy. I was thinking, what one of these questions is, what's the what's one of the icon? What's something about one of your favorite lines? What's it say? Someone on Twitter, I can't even pronounce that. Kickass is such an iconic movie with many memorable lines and scenes. What were each of your favorite lines and or scenes to film in the movie? Well, that's a bunch of questions. So what's one of your favorite lines, or what was one of your favorite scenes in the Kickass movie?
Probably my favorite line is the C word for Hit Girl. That's probably my favorite line.
What I was going to say is just like Chloe dropping the C-bomb, just because I remember when you were shooting it and how it was such a, because that was one take, right?
Yeah. Matthew,
because I remember
really wanted it.
You know, Chloe's 11. She had her mum and her brother on set, and I don't even know what the alternate line was, but it obviously was something you did take after take. And then Matthew said, "Yeah, can all we want is just one take of you dropping the C-bomb, and then and then that was it." He was like, "Great, got it, done."
That was it. We did the one take, and it was just I watched it back. And I was like, wow, it's so intense and so funny and so wild. And so, I don't know, it kind of like, I think it just kind of sums up the movie a little bit for me. Like this girl, a tiny little 11-year-old in a purple outfit and a purple wig, saying the C word with you in the corner, just like terrified on the ground.
It's, I know, very iconic moment, I think. There was many sort of iconic moments in Kickass. I think we were very fortunate and lucky. If I think about some of my favorite moments of making movies over the years, is that that would be, Kickass would definitely be up there as one of my favorites because, like Chris was saying earlier, it was an independent movie. But it was done on such a sort of big budget scale and under Matthew Vaughn's direction, and it all came under, you know, his vision. So it was his money, his vision. He could do and say what he wanted, and it's very rare to come by those kind of filmmakers these days, and even back then. So those are things that I miss about making movies now. I've never really worked within that kind of budget, that kind of those kind of filmmakers who can sort of put their money where their mouth is, and that's someone who Matthew can write, he can direct, and he can really produce, and so it was a huge, I think we were like had a huge opportunity just to observe and learn from someone like that. It was really influential for me, that's for sure, you know. So
definitely, and just like kind of the freedom that we all had to kind of go there on the day and do whatever we wanted and kind of push the boundaries of the characters and we were all just, you know, trying to figure out what we all liked, and he allowed us to have that freedom as young actors, you know, to kind of foster that.
That was cool. Yeah, someone just said, do you keep any props? Have you kept any props?
Have I kept any props? I have one hero suit somewhere in my house. Which I'll try and find at some point. I'll try and take a photo of. So I definitely have that, and I think I have a couple of like the plastic or rubber Chinese throwing stars. So I have some of those, and then otherwise I have a bunch of like, I have them in rubber, and otherwise I have like training balisong knives, and I have my nunchucks and like stuff like that from over the years.
I'm pretty sure I have the mask. I think actually Matthew, when my daughter was born, or maybe it was for her first birthday, Matthew created a little baby Kickass outfit
No.
for Wilder, for my first child, yeah. And it might have been for
That's
Halloween
amazing.
or something like. Or we dressed her up for Halloween in a Kick-Ass outfit, and I wore her on the front.
That is ridiculous. You were saying the other day that one of y'all's is almost around the same age that I was when I auditioned for the movie, right?
Yeah, my Wilder's almost she'll be 10 in July, so yeah, very similar sort of age, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
You start to realize how young that is when you're around.
Absolutely. I know, it's crazy. I was thinking though, as you're putting this together, I reckon I have some posters. I think I still have some posters and t-shirts and things like that maybe I thought maybe we could I don't know, try if anyone wants to do a competition or something, and we'll sign some stuff, and whoever, and we'll send it. Maybe we could do something like I don't know, like a TikTok dance thing or something. Like maybe you have to dress up as Kickass and Hit Girl Red Mist. Like, what about the
that'd be cute.
The Niles Barkley crazy dance in the car with Kickass and Red Mist? If there's anyone wants to do that
and kind of replicate it, and then try and win some like memorabilia.
Yeah, interpret that scene, and maybe you can, you know, Hit Girl can pop up and you can do a little dance or something like that, and we'll send you a bunch of gear or something, and we'll post it on the thing.
We should figure out how to go about making that happen and kind of set something up for people.
I will find some gear, and maybe we can post it and see who wants to send in some videos, and then we can post them or something, and then we'll send it off to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
did you do much training for the role? Did you kind of because I know
no, I think it was the opposite. I think that's just look
to look a little
complete opposite, yeah.
So you just kind of flailed.
I got to train obviously a bit for Kickass too, but
yeah,
I always find that kind of really hard, just because it's that thing where you want to keep the character as someone who's familiar, and you know, Dave Lizewski, I can't remember his name, was this ordinary kid who wanted to be a superhero, and yet so it's really hard to kind of blend what that was. I think I had struggled trying to figure out how to have him kind of grow into that character without it being too I don't know. But it was good to be able to do. I think there's one here that says about, is this one, were there any stunts that you wanted to do yourself that the studio made you use a stunt person for? I think we pretty much got to do as much. I mean, every stunt coordinator and stunt unit director are always, if they can use the actor and the actor's willing to put in the time and effort and do it, then the best thing is you're the one doing it, because the camera angles are better. But if you can't, then there's stunt doubles, and if it's too crazy, obviously, and it's a height thing, or you know, and you got to have a harness and this and that, they'll probably use a stunt guy. But Chloe did pretty much, I would say, every single stunt she'd done, you know, it was all Chloe. And then obviously on the first one I didn't do anything, and then the second one I got a chance to pretty much do it all. I mean, you kind of want to, because it's always that dream, isn't it? As an actor, you kind of go, oh man, I want to be the one doing that. Actually, the first Kickass, I think there's that jetpack sequence, and we fly up, and that's green screen. But we're all in, like, you know, we're all in harnesses and things like that. But obviously those are stunts, and that was a painful
sequence.
Yeah.
Because the harnesses, we sat there in those harnesses for minutes at a time, just kind of hanging there in midair with the air on us, pretending we were on a jetpack. Remember? I
can't remember anything, Chloe. I'm
barely, we like hung there.
When you have as many kids as I do, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, honey. But yeah, I remember it was tough. But you know, I remember being incredibly impressed by Chloe. She, like, her professionalism, and I'm not just saying this because we're on here, but you know, 11 years old, she was one of the, like, extremely mature for her age, and she was extremely professional, and it was very apparent right there that she, you know, that we all knew that she was going to have a stellar career the way that you have, and it's beautiful to see. But I also think Matthew Vaughn is someone who's has always been really influential in really picking out and finding those kind of new talents and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like with, I'm very fortunate and lucky for him to have thrown me into this, and then I think finding Chloe. I also think for Taron Egerton in Kingsman, I think for the next Kingsman you'll see as well. He's just someone who's really interested in establishing new talents and stuff like that. I mean, how was the casting process for you? Because when I came into the casting, I think I was one of the last people to be cast, and I remember having to do a screen test with Chloe, with Chris, Clark Duke, and it was tough. You know, I came in, I was like, oh, I got these. I didn't realize, you know, I was going to read with a bunch of actors and play out these scenes, and you know, I think I had the scenes the night before, and it was a life-changing moment. It really was for me at that time, because I had, how old was I? Probably what, 17, 18, I guess. I had moved to Los Angeles, and to continue acting, and I'd been there for 3 months, and I'd been going to audition, you know, door to door, and I was about to leave that day, and I was about to
Really?
to the end of it, really.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was heading to the airport the day before when I met Matthew.
That's crazy.
And he said, turn around and come back tomorrow and do a screen test. So I then, after that screen test, I went straight to the airport. But then he gave me the job the next day. So it was one of those poignant sort of turning moments. How was it for you?
I mean, that's, you know, that was kind of the interesting thing about Matthew is also, even with like the casting process, he just kind of takes his own lead with it. There was another girl, I think, that he was about to cast, or had almost cast for the character. And I kind of got a last minute audition. And I came in, I think, again, I got like the sides, I think, really quickly. I think it was like the day before or so, like that. And I, you know, prepared it as best that I could, and I came in, and I met him, and it just kind of all worked. And then we found out, I think it was like a day or two later, that he wanted me to be a part of it. I might have read again. I don't quite remember all the intricacies of it, but it was kind of a crazy process, because it was like almost a sure bet that I wasn't going to get it, because it was almost cast already. And then he gave it to me, and I mean, he, you know, continued for years, and still does, you know, checking in and continuing to like give advice. And he's just he's kind of like a hands-on person in general. He's not just like a director, you know what I mean? He's somebody who wants to be a part of the lives of the people that he casts, and to kind of continue that. And he's the funniest. He's such an interesting guy. It's crazy to me that his kids are so much older now, and they're functioning teenagers.
He said on the phone, he just said on the phone, he goes, I was looking at them, and they were, you know, they're, you know, my babies at the time. So
Clemmy was tiny. I remember Clemmy was like, when I first met her, I mean, she was like a little tot.
I know.
Wild.
What was it like when did you know it was going to be Nic Cage, or did you, what point did you find out? And when you met him, what was the experience like working with Nicolas Cage and him playing your father? Must have been like,
he's
badass.
Like one of the coolest actors ever. I mean, I was always like, you know, like Raising Arizona was such a cool movie, and I kind of weirdly enough loved that movie when I was younger. And so I was super excited to meet him, and I think I found out, I don't know. I think I found out. I think we found out like before we got to London and everything that he was going to be a part of it, or at least they were trying to get him to be a part of it. And then he really responded to the character and the script. And then when we started kind of doing some rehearsals and getting together, it was just so off the wall because in the beginning he didn't kind of show any of his Adam West almost kind of impression with the character. And then all of a sudden we got on set and he just started throwing these things in. And it just kind of, you know, it just shows what a smart actor he is, because he built so much into a character that I think, you know, made Big Daddy so special. And that their relationship was so twisted, but also so beautiful in a way that you really cared for their father-daughter relationship, no matter how dark it was at times.
I remember I remember one of the rehearsals. I can't remember where Nick was talking to Matthew about doing a bit of the Adam West thing, and I remember we did like a reading or something, and he started like breaking it up in the Adam West way, and I remember thinking,
wow,
how crazy and how wild and how brave, how brave that you're gonna
brave.
I don't know, that thing where you get really nervous, and I think as an actor, it told me a lot. It told me a lot about not playing safe. Like, there are lines on the script that you could just deliver and play it safe. And I feel like Nic Cage is such a seasoned actor that he will never play it safe. Like,
no.
he's gonna experiment as much as possible, and you know, maybe 5 times out of 10 it doesn't pull off and doesn't work, but the other 5 are going to be iconic, brilliant moments. And I think for me at that age, watching Nick take that role well off the page and building something was like, oh, that's real acting right there. That's in the world of Gary Oldman, and Daniel Day-Lewis, and many others who can it takes it to a whole other dimension. So that was impressive, even if it is in comedy as well, right? It had a lot of comedy. It doesn't have to be drama, but it was that was really cool. That was really, really cool.
Did you find it fun to kind of jump and do another like an actual superhero film after playing a kind of fake, you know, wannabe superhero, then going and actually being super badass and being super cool? Was it kind of fun to to be powerful?
I think there was like definitely a feeling of being able to do something I hadn't done, I suppose. I don't really you know, I still have to look at it as a character in its own, and I guess ultimately that character really never got its opportunity to even get the costume. So in that sense, yeah, it was a lot of fun to play something different and play a sort of a character that had a superpower rather than and it kind of the irony of it, I guess, was kind of interesting, you know. How about you?
Did you actually like
real superhero? I feel like I'm sure they've been knocking at your door every which way. I think what would be awesome would actually be like a Hit Girl, you know, like limited movie series or something. You know, I'm sure that would be insane.
An adult
Matt,
kind
if
of
you're still watching, that's what you got to be doing.
To kind of show like the real Hit Girl and what she would be as an adult. I mean, I feel like she would be pretty twisted and pretty dark. And you could do some kind of interesting stuff with her.
Kid, so you know.
She was already pretty twisted as a kid, so that's cool.
Maybe she's the opposite. Maybe she's like an accountant who works in like a
social worker.
Maybe she's giving it all up.
Yeah, she's like a really sweet.
She's just a very normal
kindergarten
person. She wants to settle down. See, look, there's your act 1.
Exactly.
She wants to settle down. She wants a real boyfriend, normal person, doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
She's got like 2 kids.
Then
solid
Dave
girl.
Lizewski ends up knocking on the door. And he gives her a stupid plan. And that's it. She goes back to the cupboard. And behind the cupboard is the costume,
cupboard.
the girl costume. There it is. She stares at it for a while.
It's tiny.
She then
It's
puts
like
it
an
away again
11-year-old
and says,
costume.
no, it's not for me. It's not for me. Rolls round and someone has her back. It takes her boyfriend. And she's like, no, you don't mess with my boyfriend.
With me.
And she goes back. She puts the outfit on and it doesn't fit anymore. Because it's just not.
It's
she's
child
grown out of it. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And it looks really weird. And it's like here. And you're like, oh
yeah,
no.
she's like
And then you're like, oh. And then you have to remake your own one. Cut in montage.
Out of bed
making
sheets.
Lots of montage making it. And it's like you know. And then she's out on town.
Yeah.
You know, there you go. There's that
And she doesn't
one.
know how to fight
Go straight into
anymore.
act 2. Have you, we'll wrap this up, but have you, just real quick, for anybody out there who's just thinking of things to do, what have you been doing that's like, I mean, have you been cooking a lot? Have you been doing things? Have you been watching? We've been doing this thing, you know, Ryan Heffington, the dance choreographer for the Sea videos. He does like a live
like dance class?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. We do it with the kids. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's so fun.
That's a lot of fun to do.
That's fun. Yeah, I've been cooking a ton. You know, I've been really lucky that we have such good farms around LA, so I've been able to kind of order direct from farms and get all
That's really good.
my produce that way. That way we don't go to the store.
Yeah.
And we've just been kind of like messing around, been baking bread from scratch. Our friend Rachel gave me her sourdough starter, so I'm gonna make
My wife's
sourdough.
got a sourdough starter. We got a sourdough starter.
Yeah,
I was 45 years old. How old's yours?
Mine's not so old.
Oh,
Mine is probably about a month.
Right. We'll compare sourdough bread.
I'll send you sourdough, and you can send me one.
Yeah. We should do a live sourdough bake-off.
Okay.
No,
well, we signed them.
Honestly, this is it for me. I'm done. I'm leaving again. I'll be back
next week, we're also gonna do. Okay, cool.
I'm contemplating just shutting it all down again. Maybe I'll hold it up for a little bit longer.
I know this means a lot to everyone that you like kind of came out of the show.
Don't know. I just see a comment just come up and say, Aaron, you're making me tired. So there's like lots of Z's, like, oh my god.
Oh my god, stop. I'm actually dead.
Yeah. So I guess I better leave and better go.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
10th.
Thanks, Chloe. Thanks for arranging this and putting it together. I think it's a really cool, really smart thing to do. And happy 10th anniversary for Kickass. Matthew, hope you're still watching. Thank you for putting this all together, making this crew happen. All right. Thanks,
10 years and we don't hate each other yet.
No. Wait till Kickass 3. We'll see.
Uh-oh, ... You really left everyone on a cliffhanger now.
All right. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for having me on. Take care. Bye, huh?
Thank you guys for joining us during this time. It's been kind of fun over the past few days figuring out Instagram Live, and I know that it meant a lot that you guys asked so many great questions, and that you keep supporting our movie after all these years. You know, it was kind of the little train that could. You know, Matthew championed this movie on his own dime. No one would pick up the project. And then, you know, once we made the movie, everyone was really in love with it and they supported it, and we got it sold and it came out. So it means a lot that you guys have supported us for so many years. And yeah, thank you. Check it out. I'm on Friday with Chris. We're going to watch the movie at 12 noon with Mark Millar, who is the comic book creator. So we're going to watch the movie and live tweet it on Friday at 12 if you want to join us for that. So yeah, Thank you guys again, and stay safe out there. Bye.